Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Daddy Daughter Dishes.
What's shaking?
This is episode 22. I am your host, Kiera, and with me I have my lovely co-host.
BJ the daddy.
He is the daughter. He is not the daughter. He is the daddy. I am the daughter, and this is Daddy Daughter Dishes.
22, man. Deuces.
22
We
is
got some
a depressing age.
big rims.
Oh yeah, rims.
Depressing.
Yeah,
Only big rims.
Yeah, we could be rims. Let's be rims. Let's talk about age.
We a year in legal.
Cause you don't have nothing else to look forward to.
Get grown.
You don't have nothing else to look forward to after 21. It's like, damn, 22. Okay, that's nice.
Well, most people stop counting out to 21 anyway, because you looking forward to turning 21 so you can do all the stuff that you've been doing anyway, but you can do it legally. And once you get there, it's like, oh, this shit don't feel no different.
And this shit costs money. Then it's like, never mind.
Yeah,
this shit is expensive.
You gotta get grown. Yeah, you gotta get grown and start paying bills and shit. And yeah, you're right. It might be a little depressing now that I look back on it.
You just start naming a lot of depressing things. I remember I used to really want to get mail back in the day, like when school would send mail, and I would be so excited to have some mail with my name on it. And now I can't tell you last time I've been in the mailbox. That's how I avoid mail.
You sound like me. I check the mailbox at the house just because, I'm hardly ever there. So I check it. But up here, that little mailbox out there is probably full. But every time I do check it, there don't be shit in there for me but the light bill.
Grocery store promos. You can get
for
6 tomatoes
3 other people that used to live here.
Yeah, we got a vet bill once for somebody's dog. Not here, but at the apartment. I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, I hope they get their updated address because I'm not paying this. But yeah, happy 22nd episode. How have you been since our last conversation?
Well,
our last episode recording.
The last episode recording. I had what happened? I still had Mari with me. That was a good time. I dropped her off this past Sunday back to Zach, and I enjoyed myself with Mari. I think one thing I learned about Mari, I think she gonna be a driver. When she want to drive, boy, she will get behind that wheel and she will go. And she got a heavy ass foot too. So, but when we left, what was that, Wednesday? We left last Wednesday going down to Memphis. I was fresh off of work, so I was tired.
Ooh-wee.
So I drove so far, and then I said, Mara, I need you to Daddy need about 30 minutes. And she's like, I got you, Daddy. Can I listen to some of my music? And I'm like, yeah, you can listen to your music. I'm gonna try to catch a couple winks. And she got behind that wheel. We was somewhere around on I-24 around Kentucky Lake area. And she drove from there, and it was getting dark. So she had never driven these roads before. And she drove from there all the way to Chick-fil-A in Dyersburg, Tennessee. And I got me about a 20-minute little nap, and she was a soldier, man. I was proud. I said, look at my baby. I said, she's driving her tail off. And I was just impressed because it was dark. It was getting dark. And she hadn't been on those roads before, and she handled it like a champ. I was like, go ahead, Mari. She did her thing.
That's what's up. That's so weird. That's so weird. She's really driving.
It's just weird. Like, I keep seeing that little kid with the
hard hat on,
little Afro puffs at the bowling alley with the hard hat on, sitting in the front seat of your TT's car. That picture, making that face, and yeah, it's like, man, this kid she getting ready to be 16 years old, sophomore in high school. Like,
time is flying.
Where is the time gone? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, we made it down there Wednesday safely. Got up Thursday. went to my job interview, and I think job interview went really well. Um, won't They told me they let me know something in about 3 weeks. So uh, we just gonna keep doing what we do until we get that phone call one way or the other. But it seems like a pretty interesting gig. Met the people down there seem like they're real nice to work with, and the organizations. I mean, it was a brand new office building, so
Hmm.
it just looks like a promising opportunity. So I don't know if I'll take it, but I might.
Yeah, you'll
And
consider.
then yeah, and then the weekend, let's see, Rodney and Felicia ended up coming down to Memphis too. And Saturday night, we all met up at Gator Jones and the real Mrs. Jones's house. And I had um, prepared some Cajun salmon pinwheels. And Gator that boy put together a brisket. And the real Mrs. Jones did some sides, and man, we had some sip from the sip, a couple cigars, and we had us a nice little old time down there at his house Saturday night.
Did you say you prepared some salmon pinwheels
Some Cajun seasoned salmon pinwheels. Yes.
by yourself?
What you mean by myself? Yes, indeed, by myself.
Oh, that's cool. You've been on Pinterest.
No, over the what is it called? Over the fire grill, something. I don't know.
It's a
Some
cookbook.
website I found them on before.
Oh,
I
cool.
think it's an online like a cookbook. They got a bunch of recipes for the grill and
It's probably somebody's blog.
smokers and stuff. Huh?
It's probably somebody's blog, like their recipe blog. That
Over
sounds
the
really
fire
good, though.
cooking or some shit like that. It was
I'm gonna have to
they
look
was
it up.
delicious. So in a nutshell, you go down to the local store and you get you a couple of slabs of salmon fillets, the whole slab with the skin on it.
Oh, are we getting a mini
And
tutorial? Oh snap!
yeah,
Okay. Let me get my
you take the
notebook.
skin off one side,
Mm-hmm.
and the way I do it is I let them soak in some hot water, let some real hot water work, and that skin will peel
To
right
get the
off,
skin off.
and then you get you some Cajun seasoning and put on both sides. Then you get you some cream cheese, some mayo, some Dijon mustard. I put some beef bacon bits in my
Mm.
filling, some onions, some garlic. You whip all that stuff up, make you a smooth, creamy filling, and you spread it on one side of the slab, and
And
then
then
you
you
roll up the
roll
slab.
it.
You roll it,
Okay.
and
And then
then
you cut it.
I got those shish kebab sticks to let it stick
Mm-hmm.
together, let it make it stick together, and I cut about 4 or 5 I guess you call it steaks or pinwheels from each slab. And everybody said it was delicious. And
That
I
sounds
feel like I did a
delicious.
pretty good job.
That sounds like a very
But
grown up BJ meal of yours.
well, yeah, I mean it's a break from cheese, eggs, and grits and pancakes that I normally cook. Because normally I only cook breakfast, but yeah. What else we had going on, man? Over the weekend, Uncle Bob was down there because they had the um
Bike
Black Bike
weekend
Week
thing.
in Memphis. Yeah, they had that in Memphis this weekend, so he came down, but he wasn't on his bike because he got some issues going on with his arm, so he drove down. Uncle Dave came through. Basically, the whole Skip even showed up. I couldn't believe
I
it.
was
Him and
thinking about
Don
Skip
showed
this
up.
weekend. I was like, I ain't heard about Skip in a minute. I wonder if he doing all right.
He doing fine. He got a lot going on, but he doing fine. He doing real well. It was a joy to hang out with him, spend some time with him, hang out. It was a good time, man. And then Sunday, we me and Mari we hung out. She hung out with Destiny a couple nights there,
Did she get her
and then we
seafood
made our
boil?
way back. Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, she had asked me something about seafood boil while she was down there. I was wondering if she had got that.
She always asks somebody else something. I ain't heard nothing about no seafood boy, but
Well,
I don't know. She
disregard.
got some
I
new
didn't
clothes.
say that. Oh, she also new
Yeah, she
clothes.
got some clothes.
Oh, it is almost
for
like back to
school.
school
So
time.
yeah, like Tanya's daughter started school Thursday, and I kind of tag along with her for the drop off and pickup of that. That was an experience, but it was it was a good weekend, man. Yeah, we just been this week when getting back into the workflow, trying to get through this week so we can enjoy another weekend. How about you? How was Carson's party in Washington D.C. over the weekend? That just even
Man,
sound fun.
it so clearly by my voice, if you can't tell, I was like, I don't know if this is because I was screaming all weekend or if I'm just getting sick or my throat just getting sore. But either way, my voice is not all the way there, so y'all bear with me. I'm so sorry. But this weekend was really good. It was very fulfilling to my little soul and my little emotions bank. Um, it
Mm.
was a whole Carson brought the whole city out. Everybody and their mama was there the whole weekend. So Friday, Friday we got there and we got to DC, checked into our hotel, and Carson had asked us to meet him at the rooftop bar at like 7:15, 7:30. So we went and I
Mm-hmm.
thought we was late because we got there about 7:40. And I was like, dang, we gonna be late. Like, he asked us to be here earlier. And so I had texted him to let him know. I was like, hey bro, we might be a little late. Just FYI. He was like, okay, bet, I got y'all down, whatever. So we get there and he sees us and he comes over to me and he was like, Key, I thought you meant y'all was gonna be like late. Like y'all were the first ones to be here. And I was like, oh, cool. All right, bet. Like I thought we was here. I thought we was behind. And we really were the first people here. So we sat down. At first, we sat down at like just a table, not outside, because I wasn't for sure how the weather was acting that day, and I didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
go sit on the rooftop immediately because I was scared of my allergies maybe messing up. So I was like, I'm gonna see. Like CJ was out there with Carson, so I was like, he gonna see what it's like, and then come back and tell me because Lamia and her boyfriend Tyler were also there. Like we pretty much both hung out as a group the whole weekend, stayed in the same hotel and everything. So we were
Yeah.
Ubering stuff back and forth. And so got to the rooftop bar. I ended up going and being on the rooftop with everybody else because it ended up just being me on the inside. And I was like, I was chilling. And I think people thought that I was like anxious or something. Like people was like, I'm just coming to check on you. I was like, oh no, I'm good. I'm straight. Like sitting here by myself. I'm nothing wrong. I'm just chilling. But I was like, let me go out here and socialize. So went out,
Right.
socialized, watched Carson get progressively more drunk. And he started telling us how much he loved us. I said, oh, here we go. And then after that, went to a club. Same night.
Mm.
Same
Right.
night. Went to a club and got there early. Beat Carson there, but by the time it was time for him to turn up, he had the whole floor was there for Carson. Like it was like a mosh
Oh
pit of
wow.
people. And everybody just kept tapping me and they'd be like, oh my God, kid. Like I would just turn around and see a new face. I'm like, how many people did he invite? Like I'm seeing people I was not expecting to see. I'm like, they wasn't in the group chat. What the world? Oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. And so that was a really cool experience, but it started to get a little too crowded for me. So me and CJ ended up leaving just because it got to a point like I'm cool when we like shoulder to shoulder, but if I gotta like bunch my shoulders
Mm-hmm.
up for me to be comfortably standing, then
Yeah.
it's too much for me. So we headed back to our hotel. Then the next day, Carson had his day party. This is Saturday. So he had a day
Oh
party.
wow.
Now, when you hear day party, what do you think?
I'm thinking like being outside, maybe some brunch, some drinks. Um yeah, just chilling outside, a day party. I
That
mean,
is not what happened. That's not what happened. That was what I was expecting because
Right.
in school and college when we say day party, we going outside, we going to show some skin, we going to look cute. That's what everybody popping out for the spring. And so
Right.
I was like, oh, we probably gonna be like on somebody's rooftop, like at this club or whatever. We get there, we pull up. It's like we're in a Caribbean club, but it's a small club and it's like
Mm-hmm.
somebody's basement. Like how in DC, like it's
Oh.
like we were in the basement. So the party started, I think, at 3:30 or 4 or something like that. So we went in there. I mean, we had a time. Like once
Right.
I was like, oh, this what we doing? Okay, bet. We had a time. And so it was like the party was wrapping up and I was like, man, it feels late as hell. Like, I'm thinking it's about 11 o'clock. I ain't really looked at my phone like that because I'm having such a good time. Daddy, it's
Right.
7:30. It's 7:30 p.m. We walk outside and it's still bright outside. And I said, what?
It's still bright outside.
I said,
You
wait a
got thrown
minute.
for a loop.
Thrown for a loop. My body was tired. I was like, man, I'm sleepy. I'm hungry.
Right.
And I was tired because we had been, we in there having a good time. We dancing, drinking. I did end up drinking.
You
I,
think you
I
think
said
about
I
some
wasn't gonna
Waffle
drink.
House because you
Man, I'm thinking,
because
okay,
you think it's late.
who gonna be open? Who gonna be open by this? Where can we Uber to in time? Where can we get DoorDashed in time?
Right.
It's 7:30, so I was a little tipsy, and so I was just talking and talking, and Lamia had already called our Uber. So she was like, Kiara, like, I was like, what y'all doing after this? And they was like, we going to U Street. And I was like, yeah, I'm hungry. And it was like a digital menu for something like beside us. I was like, this is so cool. And me and CJ Line Brother, we was just drunk talking. This is so neat. And then Lamia was like, Key, come get your ass in the car. And they was waiting on me to get the Uber. They was waiting on me and CJ, but I didn't know she had called the Uber. So that was the day party. And that was really fun. Like that was one of my favorite events of the weekend. But then Sunday we had the boat party. So DC
Oh
has these
wow. Damn.
I know, right? DC has these cruises like where they just take you on the water or whatever. And he had booked a birthday
2 hour
cruise.
cruises.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
2
so
hour cruises on the river on the
yep.
boat.
So I think he had 2 or 3 tables reserved. It was a whole bunch of different groups of people there celebrating different things, And so he had like his closest friends there. And that was a good time too. Like we had the black side and like the DJ was playing, he was white, but he was playing all the music we was requesting. And so like he played like one like white people like country song. Everything else is like the ratchet hip hop, like the this my shit, that type of music. And like the white women, they was like trying to twerk, and I was crack. They was like trying to twerk with the black girls and stuff. It was hilarious, but that was
Oh
also a
Lord.
good time. They had gifted him some shots of tequila, so we had took some shots,
Mm.
and he had unlimited bottles of champagne too. So we had like mimosas, and that was a good time. I got dressed up all nice and stuff. And then Monday, we get ready to go, and me and CJ get my car from the ballet, and there's a big
Uh-huh.
ass green sticker on my front window of my car, and so we was like, anybody else car got this sticker on it? What is this sticker? And the guy was like, oh, your car was parked in the wrong spot, so like the sticker was notifying you like it would be towed, like if it didn't move.
And y'all park valet?
Yeah, and and
What the fuck kind of shit is that? I
and
mean,
see, so the hotel and the hotel shared a parking garage with an apartment building, and apparently valet parked my
okay.
car in the apartment parking spot. So the
Okay.
notice was there for that. So CJ, he was really good about it. He first of all, he was like, y'all need to take the sticker off. Then he went in the hotel and told the
Right.
woman, and ended up getting our valet fees waived for the trip. And they said corporate was gonna reach out, like we had sent them images and everything. But I was like, why I feel like if I'm paying for valet, I trust that my car is gonna be parked in a secure spot
Parked in a,
that I'm paying for.
yeah,
And why
that's
the
yeah.
fuck are you putting stickers on cars? Cause that shit was so they pulled it off, and like I was making a big effort to be chill key all weekend. So I was like, I was not making a big deal of anything. Like we got on the road late for DC. I wasn't tripping. Like stuff was happening and
Right.
stuff you would expect me to get worked up about. I was chilling. And so I was like, all right, weekend almost over. I'm almost there. And I saw that sticker residue and I said, just count to 10. So I'm just in the passenger seat just counting. And CJ, he all cool. He walked out of the hotel. He's like, they're gonna take care of it. And so I know how to get sticker residue off, but I was like, I can't do it till I get home. And so I was like, we're gonna have to drive
Right.
down the interstate with this damn sticker residue on my window. But the parker guys, they worked really hard to get it off, and they ended up getting it off. And like I wasn't mad at them because they were like really helpful and stuff. I was like, just whoever I know who parked my car, and it wasn't them. So I was like, I appreciate y'all helping, and they was getting it down. I was like, and so we was like, what you think that's worth? And we text CJ family group chat, and Kayla was like, at least a few nights at at the Hilton or something, and then so I
Right.
think CJ was like new car on them or something. Like we had just a family thread going to like what we should get, but that was like, the weekend couldn't go all the way good. Something had to happen, and that was the thing that happened to us. But overall, like the weekend was super. It was just super good. Like me, like we talked about it before. Nothing makes my heart happy like seeing other people happy, especially
Hmm.
like knowing Carson suddenly lost his older sister this year. Like, so that was really hard on
Hmm.
him. And it's just been kind of a rough year. So to know that people came out to celebrate him, and like knowing he has all these friends that really care about him, that just really did something to my spirit. And like he was so just happy. You could tell he was just happy for everybody to be here. He was like, he gave like one of them like 5 minute speeches. We was like, all right, Carson, wrap it up. We get what you're saying. I got about 6 videos of him saying, I just want y'all to know. I just want y'all to know. Wait, let me tell you this real quick. I just want y'all to know. And then he's going to start up. But it was really good. And it was fun for me because I mean, like I said, I'm not social like that. I don't really go out like that. Like that's normally something I probably would have told CJ he could just, go do by on his own. Like, yeah, you go
Yeah.
up there. But we had a good time. Carson wanted us both there, and my recent uppage in my meds, I think they really helped me just be like chill. Like I wasn't really worked up at all outside of the crowded club, but that was just I knew I was ready to go. I was like, it's late, it's sweaty, I'm hot,
Yeah.
I don't even like clubs, and they ain't pat me down good when I came in here. There's a lot of niggas in here, and so I'm just gonna go. So I said, if they ain't pat me down good, what the? It's not a good job.
Yo,
So
girl, you too much. You too much.
what I do?
Yeah, I'm
You
just
know,
saying, you too much.
you would think that if you going in a club with mostly people of your people, and you know how your people get in the club, and if you go into the club
I
and they
ain't.
barely pat you down,
I
somebody gonna
don't look at
say,
my people like that
"Damn."
anymore.
Yeah, all right.
But first of all,
Well,
I ain't
well,
going.
well.
I ain't.
Look, look,
I ain't.
look.
I'm not. I'm not.
Look, well, they patted me down. I could have been holding my folding chair. Could have had my phone chair with me. They probably would have. What if they would have let me bring
Well,
that in?
look, thank God that you didn't have your folding chair and nobody else had their folding chair
Yeah.
inside the club, and you was able to enjoy yourself.
Yes. No folding chairs were thrown in this weekend. But yeah, it was a really good weekend.
Throne
Chucked.
swung.
yeah. But yeah, that was it. So I had a good weekend. It was a great weekend. It's good to see my
That's
people.
good. That's good.
So it made me really excited for the housewarming in the next few weeks because a lot of the people that we invited were there, and so everybody was just like, "The Laws is there, like Mr. and Mrs. Laws. We so excited for the party next month. We gonna turn up."
Oh, that's
I was
dope.
like, "Yeah, y'all, it's the house. It's the housewarming. It's not a house party. We don't talk." I said, "It's no college party."
Yeah, whatever. They gonna
Oh
turn
yeah,
up like they said. They gonna
they
celebrate
are.
y'all in y'all's new house.
And I can't wait. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, what you got on your docket for me this week? Because I mean it's Friday when this episode comes out. It's been about a week since the video dropped, but I know that the people want to know what you thought about that Alabama Tea Party, the sweet tea
That
party.
Alabama sweet tea party.
Mm-hmm. The
Man.
swing low. Swing.
Well, you know, normally, I'm gonna be straight up honest. Normally, when I see something like that, I won't even
You
watch it
don't
all
even
the way
engage.
through.
You don't even watch it all the way through because you're
Don't
like,
even
this is some bullshit.
engage.
I don't want to see this.
It's
But you,
like,
this
what the
it
hell
was the
wrong with these black
ancestors.
folks?
It
That's
was the ancestors. They said, watch it.
so. When I watched it, and when the first thing that got my eye was the way my man threw his hat off when he had when the way it was like he summoned the spirit of everything good in every black person that decided to help him. I've seen memes where they, made it like it was a bat signal
Batman
or something like
signal.
that. So, and it was just like, so you watching the video, see, like, what the hell? Like, I'm watching the video and I'm like, well, like, I want to know what
What's the
happened, what led to
context? What
this.
led to this?
Yes, what led to
Oh
this? Because
wait,
I don't want
hold
to be.
on.
I like what
Pause.
I like.
Pause.
Pause.
Real quick. Just in case, let's just say y'all don't know what we're
Mhm.
talking about. Let me just give you the quick little run through. There was a group of white boaters who attacked a black employee on Saturday on a dock at Riverfront Park in Montgomery, Alabama. And it sparked a massive
Mhm.
brawl, huge melee that resulted in multiple arrests. And the city's mayor is actually calling for justice to be served to the boaters for attacking a man who was just doing his job.
Doing his
So
jobs.
so yeah, if you haven't seen the video, just start typing in Alabama, and you will find it. It don't take. And matter of fact, I'll link it in the show notes if you just don't know what we're talking about. But I assume that you probably do.
Yeah,
But
because
just in case,
we gonna be they gonna social media is gonna be buzzing about this for probably 2 weeks. I'll give it. But it's like every time for me, every time I see it,
I
I
gotta
just
watch it.
smile on the inside, like, because so I was saying, like, I'm watching it and I'm kind of conflicted because I'm like, man, why we acting a fool?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, what happened? Like, why is
Mm-hmm.
these white dudes jumping this black dude? And boy, when that boy swam into that picture on that video and got up on that dock, and then them other people came down that dock and they went to work. When I tell you, I was smiling on the inside, and I wasn't necessarily smiling because they was beating up on some white folks. Cause it goes deeper than that for us,
Mm-hmm.
for me. Like, it goes deeper than that. It's like we hardly ever get to see anything on social media, on the news of us joining together for a common cause, a worthy cause. So when I saw it and then I got the full context of what was going on, I'm like, hell yeah. Like,
You
part
said,
of me was
"Oh
like, man, I wish
yeah,
I was there.
I wish I was
It's like,
there."
like, I wish I was there. Like, I could be a part of something like this. And I'm not a violent person. I don't condone violence. I'm not even a person like that's so not my nature. But to see what I feel like was a form of unity to for a common cause, that was kind of that was uplifting. And it had me smiling. I was watching it like a proud parent. Like I was like, look at my people. Yeah, go ahead. Do that. And when I saw that
You
man
said you
swinging
better
that
swim
chair,
across
I
that
was like,
dot. Yeah, that man swinging
when I
that
saw that
chair.
man, I was like, hold on, bro. I
So
was like, man,
wait,
hold on.
the first hit he did, I was like, hell yeah. And then the second one, I was like, okay. Now, see, you had to take it too far. Cause you shouldn't even ran up on that lady and hit her. Let them other women deal with that woman. Don't you go over there and hit that lady with no chair. And he did it. And I was like, damn.
Hey,
But that first one, I was like, yeah.
hey, that's why the police want him to come in and speak with them at this point. At the time of this recording, the last thing I read, they want to come in and have a conversation with him to find out more details about his actions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it looked like it came from a place of, hey, there was emotion behind that swing.
That
There
was
was
some so
that
here's
him was his
something.
great granddaddy in that swing. Ooh.
That was a middle-aged man, right? That wasn't no young man.
Mm-mm.
So here's a tip for our listening audience. If you're gonna get into an altercation with a middle to older age black man, be prepared because that man probably got so much
Pent up.
tension built up in him. Ain't no telling what's going on in his personal life. Ain't no telling what kind of shit he done been through in his life. He's carrying around the weight of his father, his grandfather, and all the injustices and wrongdoings that was done to them. He's carrying all that weight. It may not be healthy for him, but he's carrying it. And if
But
he get the opportunity to unleash that on you, your ass better watch out because he gonna bring the thunder, and that's what that man was doing with that chair. That I love that meme where they got the microphone up to the chair, and the chair was like, I was just sitting there minding my own business. When ...
the
Well, people
memes
know they
coming
can be
out of this
creative,
are hilarious. Like I
bro.
so when I first saw it, it's funny because like you said, I usually don't watch those videos. I usually scroll right past them, and I usually be like, "That's why is they sharing that foolishness?" But when we left the club that night, I had went and we was laying in the bed, and I was scrolling. We was waiting on our food to get delivered. And I said, I watched this fight. CJ, I think he was in the shower. So I'm watching it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I watched it because somebody was like, they had a screenshot of it and hey, I posted it. And they was like, man, I wish I would have been there so I could have jumped in. And it was like video and comments. So I was like, let
Right.
me see what they talk about. Because I think it was like an older person. Like it was somebody who wouldn't have really shared that before. So I was like, what they talk about? Let me see. And I watched that video and I could not wait for CJ to get out the shower so I could show him this video. I said, watch. I was like, and this led to this clip. And CJ was like, oh, he was like, that's not funny. And I was like, yeah, it is. And
Yes, it is.
and then I went through and watched it one more time. Well, I mean, I've watched it several times, but then I watched it like piece by piece or whatever. And because I was like, where did all the black people come from in like in the second clip when the people was running to their boat? It just seemed like they just came out of nowhere. But when that boat docked, they had came out that
people got
boat.
off.
So people, they was ready.
So pause. That's how you get to the context.
Mm-hmm.
So that boat, I don't know the name of it,
the
but
Harriet.
they do 2 hours. That boat does 2-hour tours along that river every day, and those people, they had done a tour, and they were coming back to that dock, and the family that owned that private boat, they were parked in the spot for the boat where the boat docked at. It was a designated spot. And from everything I've read, they were waiting for 40 to 45 minutes for those people to come and move that boat. And the guy that that the first video starts, the co-captain, the guy that threw his hat off, he was the co-captain of that boat. He was on the boat to start. they had sent another vessel out to get him, to take him to land so he can go and try to talk to the people to get them to move that boat.
So
And
they messing up all
when he was
operations
talking
of
to them,
business. They fucking with the city's money.
so yeah, so the whole time, that 40 to 45 minutes, there's a musician. I think he's a white guy. They didn't show his face, but he works on that boat. He provides musical entertainment on those cruises. He said he made up a whole song and was singing for them people to move that boat. And while he was, every time somebody asked them to move that boat, all they were doing was cussing at them, flipping them the bird, basically telling them to go get fucked. They wasn't moving nothing.
Sound like a
So
bunch
when
of
the
hooligans.
co-captain got down there and was trying to talk some sense, he was actually trying to move that boat manually because he untied it from the dock, and then that's when they came and he was trying to tell them again, y'all need to move the boat. And it just went to hell from there. And like I say, don't condone no craziness like that. But and the thing that I also don't like is, if the tables was turned, they would be talking about how much alcohol was consumed by the people on the private boat. If everything I've read, there ain't no mention about they were intoxicated or anything like that. And for a fact that they were intoxicated,
You could
because
tell they was intoxicated.
every social media post that I've seen from them on that day before then, everybody holding a bottle of something, a bottle of beer or drink. They was drunk. They was acting belligerent because they was out of their freaking minds drunk. And they got what they was asking for that day.
Couldn't take a black man telling them
they
what to
ain't
do.
want nobody telling them what to do.
I would have loved to have been a fly on that dock. I wonder what he called. I know he called him all types of bad words. He called the black man. Shoot. But he threw that hat off. And when he threw that hat, I said, that's his way of saying, fuck this job. I'm gonna beat your ass. Like if I was that white man, when he threw his hat, I would have took off running, because I would have been like, "Oh shit, I done fucked up. I am so sorry, sir. You know what? Wait, let's pause and let's pray." But no, he fucked around and found out, and he found out all right. And then I just couldn't get past the fact that they all tried to jump the man when
one of his coworkers.
They tried to jump him. Like, what's the reason for that? He simply asked you to move your boat.
He touched their boat. He touched their boat. That's where he crossed the line. In their eyes, he crossed the line when he touched their boat. Like, that's our fucking boat. Don't fucking put your hands on our boat.
Should have came and touched it.
But they punched the little. I think that little boy was a coworker. He had on a blue life vest because he came in early on in that part when they was jumping on the co-captain, and they punched him. Little white dude, he was just trying to get him off of him, and they punched him. Yep. I was like, they just don't care.
They just don't care. And then watching it, and then you see the water, and you like, somebody gonna get thrown in that water. I don't know how, but somebody go. And then you watching the lady get dragged, you like, oh, she gonna do it, and then she did it. I was like, oh.
And my man that swam.
He only like 16.
The boy that swam, 16. Like, and see that's another thing. Like, all of our kids, bad. All of our kids ain't bad. That was he went to help somebody that needed help. That's at the end of the day. That's what should be gotten out of this story. Somebody needed help because they was all on that man. And it was
and like stepping on him, like it looked like they stomped his neck and everything. Like, it looked very dangerous. When they was recorded, I was like, I hope somebody's coming to help. Like, I was hoping I wasn't watching a video of a black man, nearly getting stomped to death. I was hoping there was more to it, and there was absolutely more to it, and I was satisfied.
And shout out to the first guy that basically came to help, because you saw him running. You saw his feet at the top of the screen running, and then he came in. He was just trying to push him off. He was like, stop. And they wouldn't stop. And now it's like, okay, Y'all don't want to stop? Is this what we doing? Let's fucking dance.
And then
Let's just dance.
them big boys hop out that boat and get to
Them
skipping.
big boys they came out there
They
with
had
them
on
titties
wife
jiggling and them
beaters.
shirts off.
I said, ooh
And
wee. I said, it's gonna be a
it's
murder. Gonna be some furniture moving. It's gonna be some boats moving. And the lady, she's like, oh my God, no. Oh my God. I would have threw her ass off the boat too. Would have just went on there to throw her off. But I just loved how like nobody it sounds like I'm really condoning this violence, but I actually kind of am because I just feel like at some point somebody got to learn because they just do. So when
well, it's just like you kind of touched on I don't know if it was the last episode or the episode before when we was kind of talking about rich people. You had made the remark. He was like, at what point are we gonna stop letting, you said, rich people, these wealthy people, just do, I think we was talking about that submarine or whatever.
mm-hmm.
And at one point, and it's just like with people who feel entitled, like they can do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it with no repercussions. And a lot of people in this damn society don't understand, when you allow the person who's supposed to run the country to run amok and not be held accountable, that is the only thing that's going to trickle down from government, not the damn Reaganomics, economics, or nothing like that. But when people see that disgusting ass behavior
hatred
take place from somebody who's supposed to
supposed
be
to
the
have higher,
leader
be
of
on
this
higher
country,
ground. Yes.
yeah, you're supposed to have some kind of professionalism about you with something, and you were just running amok, and you still running amok, and you still got people supporting your ass. That is a problem, and people gonna have to learn.
One
They
way or
gonna learn
another.
the hard way that shit ain't flying with a lot of people. Like them days ain't no going back. Y'all can be taking us back on paper with some of these stupid ass school board policies and whatnot, and ignorant ass behavior. But people are not going. It's too much knowledge out there right now, and people may not be like going around spreading their knowledge, but people are reading, people are learning about who they are, what they should stand for, and they ain't just finna come out and advertise that. They gonna hold that stuff to their cuff. But when you push those people to a certain point, you're gonna fuck around and find out, just like these people did. Like that shit ain't flying, man. And I don't care what color you are. That
Nope.
shit ain't flying with nobody. Like anybody that got any rationally thinking human beings, they not sitting around and watching that foolishness go on. If you sitting around and
Mm-mm.
watching or you engaging in it, then you the problem. It's not the people defending themselves. You the problem. And that's
Exactly.
something that I think need to be taken from this. You on the surface, you look and you see black and white, you think it's all racial. No, it's not all racial.
Mm-mm.
It was some wrongdoings being done, and them people was just like, you know what, we ain't finna sit around and let this shit happen no more.
Mm-mm.
And I
And
mean,
I
I
feel like
applaud it. Like I say,
I
I'm not
feel
a
like to a certain extent, like they, black people can always rally for ourselves, but in certain environments too, like if you see somebody getting harassed or bullied, like we're gonna come through somehow. I mean, I'm not
oh
no
yeah.
superwoman or nothing, but if I see somebody being accosted or harassed, I'm gonna make an effort to go up to
You gonna say something.
put myself in between them and that person that's bothering them, because it's just like unnecessary. And it's like most of the time people's anger isn't even directed at the person that they're so upset with or that they're berating or harassing, but they got deeper shit going on, and it's like you need to go take a walk
Mm-hmm.
and get out of their
Right.
face, because I don't want to be a witness to
Leave them
murder
folks
today.
alone.
Yeah, but like you said earlier, like because you always see those videos where people are recording and people be in the comments like, why y'all ain't do nothing? Y'all just stood there and recorded. And so it was so
Right.
refreshing to finally see somebody recording. It had some fantastic commentary. The commentary made the
Fantastic
video.
commentary.
You better swim on that boy. You better, don't you do that to that. Oh, she gonna throw him in the water. Oh, she threw him. Oh, she hit him. Not the chill. Like, it's just,
Boy,
you going to jail.
I'm
Like,
telling you,
it's a lot. Like, it was a masterpiece. It was a true work of art. That video
it was
clip
a
will probably
master.
be studied in somebody's sociology class.
Oh, absolutely. Did you see the people? I want to say they might have been in Memphis. They was at a pool party and they already did a reenactment
No.
of it. Oh my
No.
God. You should see it. And the beautiful thing about it is like it's black people and white people. Like they doing a reenactment of the whole thing by the pool, and it is hilarious. You gotta go check it out. It's funny
I
as
love
hell.
us for real. I
And
saw one.
that was something that also found uplifting, that I've been seeing people from across the color spectrum commenting on it. I've
And
seen very
everybody
few.
everybody is like,
I'm
they got what they
I'm not
deserve.
seeing any. Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody defending the actions of
Mm-mm-mm.
the people who jumped the guy. Everything that I've seen has been, you know what? Like the lady, it was a lady from Alabama. She had ordered her food. She was eating, looked like some chicken nuggets or something. She was like, "I ain't know what the hell y'all thought was gonna happen. Y'all out there acting the damn fool. You got what you deserve."
Yeah,
Like
like
it's
it was
it, and
like
it's
the
nice.
most criticism I've seen, of course, I mentioned earlier, like the guy hitting a woman with the chair. Just because I was like, it just that last piece just
Yeah.
seemed unnecessary. Because before I was like, yeah, and then he ran. I said, no, right in front of the police, bruh. No, like you messing up the fun. But like, it was just very good to watch. It felt good. It's just, I don't know. I felt like Malcolm X. I was just like,
I mean,
any
you
means
saw the
necessary,
memes. You
you know?
saw Malcolm. You saw Harriet. You saw Martin. You saw all of them. It's like you saw. I saw different memes with them smiling over the horizon, looking
Over the
down
horizon.
at the people. It's
And
like, man,
it's just
people are so damn creative with some
so
of this
creative.
stuff. Like so creative. Like what I just, man, they just come up with some of the most amazing things, and man, I'm telling you, it's some good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I saw something about they had a few active warrants. They had arrested 4 people, and they had a few active warrants. But I did see that they did identify one of the people as the owner of Vassar's Mini Mart in Selma, and so they ran a little gas station mini mart situation, and she posted, or whoever, I don't know if it was a he or she. I realized I have a business to run and represent, and no charges were filed against me because I was not involved. They kept trying to say, like, you see, I was avoiding it. Like, you try to get your camera to focus. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You back. I was gonna say put your finger on your face, but you back. But I'm like, and then people were like, yeah, they was racist before the altercation, because you could go back on their Facebook posts and see they would talk about white money is like the best the higher currency or some shit. It was some so outlandish that was like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, that explains it. But did you see on the Breakfast Club? I don't know how accurate or true this is, but on the Breakfast Club, they do donkey of the day sometimes. And so the person called in a donkey of
Mm-hmm.
the day, and she was like, I work at the hospital in Selma on contract. And she was like, the people came in with their injuries. And she said they were terrified because everybody on the hospital staff was black. And they were saying, everybody's niggers in here. And they called the police. Now that's what the lady,
The
she was like, I'm giving dog care today to them white, she was like, them white people that got beat up, and she was like, they came in the hospital that I work at. I'm on contract in Selma. I'm from Atlanta, no, but I'm in Selma. And she said that's what they said. And I said, ooh, that's
oh,
crazy. You thought that was bad, but I
but
take that with a grain of salt.
right, but hey, man,
I mean, I don't
you
put
know
it
what?
past them, but I take it with a grain of salt.
I mean, I don't know those people from a hill from nothing, but their actions in that video alone makes me think that they ain't quite right upstairs. Like
Mm-mm.
first of all, you done parked your boat somewhere it ain't supposed to be parked, and
And
then
where
when
you at?
the people ask you, yeah, you there for 40, 45 minutes. and the people ask you to move the boat, and you like fuck you, like throw them the, like I say, on all accounts, even in the police report, like they were yelling obscenities and flipping people the bird and basically telling them, yeah, we ain't moving nothing.
And probably
Y'all go
thought
get
because they
fucked.
was out of touch, they probably thought they ain't gonna get down here and do nothing. You know, they can't do nothing to us, so we gonna say whatever we want. Oh, but they did. They sure did.
You was
I,
sadly
I did.
mistaken that day.
I did hate that it was like HBCU day or whatever on the boat. Like you saw, because most of the people, they were in fraternities and
Oh, that boat
sororities.
was packed with black folks. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was. I was hating to see that the colors. I was like, oh, I hope that don't like mess with nothing, you know, organization related.
Nah, ain't gonna mess
But
with
I was like, I can see past the color. I don't see color today. Beat their ass.
Oh,
But
yeah, that was something. That was
yeah,
something.
that was quite something. That you said that's gonna be probably popular for about 2 weeks. I think that's a staple. I
You
think
think
that's a.
you know what?
I think that one gonna
I was
stick
thinking about
around.
the buzz. I mean, the buzz behind it is going. I feel
Oh,
like it'll last about 2 weeks. But every time I get down on my people, I'm gonna pull up that video and go watch it. I'm be like, there is hope for us. We can make some shit happen.
there's
It
hope for
just that
humanity.
was another thought I had. That was another thought I had. Like, if we can come together for that, a just cause, a worthy cause, in helping somebody who was in need. If we could come together collectively around this country and do the same thing, we don't even have an idea of the progress, of the changes, of the things that we could change in this country, in this world, not just this country. Like, I'm convinced black people can get through to the aliens that are destined to come and wipe us off the face of the earth, and convince them that, you know what, man, it's some good people here. Y'all ain't got to take us out. Y'all ain't got to take us out. Just,
At
we
least
know
not
y'all
us.
got better technology. You know, we know y'all got better technology, but y'all, it's some good people here, across the color scheme, not just black folks. But we gonna lead this charge. We ain't trying to kill y'all. We ain't raising up our guns. We want to talk. Let's talk. Let's do business together. Let's do something.
Shit, we probably speak. They probably speak. They probably speak African American vernacular, and we probably. Hey, what's up, Mo? What you doing
I
out
wish
here?
some other fucking people. I wish some other people would learn some African American vernacular.
Shit, I hope
I'm
they
so
don't.
sick of these damn.
But oh, you transitioning? It's your transition, cause
That was a good
I have
transition.
feelings. That was a great transition. But no, don't learn it, cause I don't want y'all to learn it, cause I want y'all to stay over there. But we got Jamie Foxx. So first of all, I thought I saw his name trending, and I just knew that something bad had happened, like health
You
related. I
thought
was
he had took a turn from the worst for the
Yeah,
worst?
I thought he had went to the upper room, and I was like, damn. And I click
You
it,
thought he went to glory, huh?
and I read it, and I read it again, and I read
And you
it
read it again.
again, and I read
And
the
you read it again.
and I look up the definition just to make sure, because I'm like, I know what that means, but let me look it up real quick. Yeah,
Mm.
that had
Uh-huh.
nothing. I said, where did they get this from? So
Nothing.
if y'all don't know what we talking about, Jamie Foxx has recently been put. He was the focus of social media for a day, and because
He was accosted by social media, is what he was.
yeah, folks were quote unquote outraged because Jamie Foxx shared a post that said, they killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? Question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation point. Hashtag fake friends, hashtag fake
Fake
love.
friends. Hashtag fake love.
And
Now, yeah.
from that post, it caught somehow his post got caught wind of a Jewish news company, A Wider Frame, and they shared a screenshot of his post and accused Fox of sharing a horrifically anti Semitic message.
And it's
Now,
amazing how they frame that shit too.
now,
Horrifically anti-Semitic.
horrifically anti-Semitic. Now, I studied this because I was so like I had to look it up. I really was so confused. I'm like, okay, I'm clearly missing something here. What's the so I researched it, and the backstory from the outrage is that the myth is that Jews collectively murdered Jesus, and that's also referred to as deicide, and it has been used to justify
Mm-hmm.
violence against Jews for centuries, according to
Against
the
Jewish people. Right.
Anti-Defamation League. And I read that, and I said, okay, I know what anti-Semitic mean, just like I thought I did, and I understand. But what does that
Right.
have to do with this fucking post? And I said, oh, they think that he is referring to them and not
Hey.
them, not us.
So what's that saying about if the shoe don't fit,
Stop trying
don't
to put
wear
your
it or
foot in
some
that
shit?
bitch.
Like if you took offense to that, if you made that into something that is obviously not, there is something deep down, there was some guilt deep down in you, and it may go generations back. You may not even understand it. And this is kind of what we did talk about when we talk about the trauma of slavery. Like if you're a Jewish, quote unquote, Jewish person, and you found something offensive about that statement. Like when I read that statement, if they killed this dude named Jesus, what do you think they'll do to you? I'm not no biblical scholar or anything, but it seemed like Jesus was betrayed by those that were closest to him when he
Hashtag fake
had suffered
friends.
his demise.
That's the whole irony of the Last
Fake
Supper.
friends,
One of you will betray me.
fake love. And the man came out and said he had a friend, a person he thought was a friend of his, betrayed him. And that was the inspiration behind the post. How in the hell is that anti Semitic? From my eyes, I just don't see it. And I'm real sick. I'm real sick and tired. Now, I don't condone no violence towards anybody. I don't give a damn if they Semitic or black, white, none of that stuff. Like, I know we just got done talking about watching a video and enjoying what we saw, but when you defending yourself or you coming to the aid of somebody that need help, that's a different ball game. This is not some unwarranted attack on the Jewish people by Jamie Foxx. This is a bunch of bullshit. And it's just sickening. Like these Jewish people that come out and speak out against these things. So for me, I was doing a little research on this. There's a lot of Jewish people that are huge executives of some of these record companies. And there's a lot of record companies that put out music, that advocates or promotes violence against black people, our black youth. I don't see you motherfuckers out here raising hell about that. I don't see y'all holding these record executives accountable for those actions. So how you going? This is something that I do not understand. I don't understand. It's okay for people of your race or whatever to do it, allow it to happen on their watch at their company. Yeah, I know it's at their company. They can do whatever they want. But this is this man's, that's what he felt. And y'all gonna try to make it something that is obviously not? That makes no sense to me. And y'all sit idly back quiet while some of this crazy ass music that's put out, but y'all don't have anything to say to the executives that give the money that allow this thing to happen. Like, I don't understand that. Like, where do you draw the line at? Like, it's just you just don't like it when it happens to you, so it doesn't matter when it happens to somebody else. I don't understand. Somebody help me understand. Like, I don't
I
get it.
just don't understand how we obviously everybody knew what he meant, and
Everybody.
especially majority of his followers, because majority of his followers are Black, and they know that that's a common trope in the household, like the fake friends, the watch your back, you know. The fake friends watch your back. Like, we know that context. That's a part of our dialect. But when it's time for our dialect to just be for us, it's gotta be,
And
everybody gotta put their hands in it and pull out what they think and pull out their perceptions and
right.
pull out, well, to me it means this, and well, to my so and so it means this. And it's just like, okay, but how about the fact that we wasn't talking about y'all, we was talking
Right.
about what we know. So if you don't know, it's an AB conversation.
Ask a,
See your
you can
ass
see your way out.
And that
Or you can ask.
Or you can ask. But to jump and Jennifer Aniston her can't see. Jennifer Aniston, she is a big she was a big perpetrator of the backlash that he faced, because when they shared that screenshot of his post, it was showed that Jennifer Aniston had liked it. So of course they called Jennifer Aniston out. And instead of talking about her actions, whatever the fuck she was doing, she puts Jamie Foxx on blast. And it's like, again, you had the opportunity to clear the air. You had the opportunity to say, you know what, I spoke to Jamie Foxx. I knew what he meant. You know, we close. I have well, don't say I have multiple Black friends, but, you know, I understand what this means among the Black community. And that's why I liked it. You know, I'm not liking it in support of anti-Semitism.
Semitism.
It was trying to say Semitism, and I'm like, no, that's not. But yeah, I'm just like, it's like our culture means everything to people when they want it, and then when they don't want it, it's an issue. And it's like, y'all can't pick and choose when you wanna be a part of, when you wanna participate in these Black people influence activities. Y'all want to be us so bad. You want to talk like us so bad, to the point where you force yourself, to the point where we know you trying, because we like, that don't even go there. That word does not go there.
No.
We use that word wrong, but it don't go there. And you know that. We know you from the suburbs. Molly, you not like that. But then when you want to be offended, it's all of a sudden, it's all the blame goes to us as usual. I'm
gonna tell you that Jennifer Aniston thing kind of disgusted me. I was confused and then I was disgusted because she put out a statement. She put out a statement that said it showed Jamie's post, and then she said,
"I will never share something."
She said something to that effect, like I this is disgusting, or I hate this, or something to the. And then she said, I did not like or not like that post on purpose, by accident or on purpose. And I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? Like, I was confused. And then she went on to say the rest of what she said. And I'm like, oh, you catching some heat, and you don't want anybody to think that, you know, you don't want those people who attacking Jamie to come after your ass no more than they already have. And I'm like, what is wrong with people? Like, why can't you just stand up for what you believe in or what you say? Stand on your word. Like, I kind of felt bad for Jamie because I knew what he was saying.
Everybody knew what the hell he was saying. I think even they knew what he was saying.
They probably did.
But they said, "Ooh, an opportunity for me to be victim. I'm gonna take it."
The one of those, I don't know if it was a reporter. I should have wrote down the name when I was reading up on it. And he said something about the disgusting anti-Semitic message put out by Jamie Foxx, and then he said, "I'm not even going to wait for him to clarify it," or something to that effect. Like
So
he just
just
went in on attack mode, and it's like, come on, man. Anybody can read that shit and be like, he is not, obviously he ain't talking about nobody Jewish. That just means somebody in his circle done fucked up, and this is his way
mhm,
of putting them on blast. Point blank.
mhm.
Period. This ain't got nothing to do with no religion, no nothing. This somebody fucked up in Jamie's circle, and that was his way of putting them on blast without getting too messy. And now he got to deal with some shit that don't mean nothing to him. Like
Don't
it,
mean
it
now he got to
absolutely
deal
had
with
nothing to do.
more attention from that than attention being on him about his health. When you Google Jamie Foxx
Yeah,
now,
so
it's not Jamie Foxx. How is he? How is his health? It's Jamie Foxx's horrific anti-Semitic message.
anti-Semitic message. And the crazy part about that is, I was looking up Jewish executives of record companies, and they own every damn thing. Like, like they own so many record companies. And then when you get so far down on the list, there's a list of record execs. And then when you get that, they go to publishing and news and magazines and newspapers that Jewish executives own. It's like, yeah, they controlling the narrative of everything. So that makes me wonder, like, if you living in the public eye, you almost have to kowtow to what they say if you want to, I guess, work or thrive in your craft. Like, that's got to be a heck of a position to be in. And for one, I'm glad I don't live in that mess, because y'all kiss my ass, being like, this has nothing to do with y'all. Like, that had no anti-Semitic nothing behind it. Like, and I'm not changing and I'm not apologizing for what I said, because it had nothing to do with y'all. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But man, it's wild. It's wild. But you can sit back, like I said, you can sit back and allow your friends in your uh religious circle. I don't even know if that's religious, but your Jewish circle, to stand by and write checks to people who put out defaming music about anybody, like especially the young black folks. Like, I mean, and that ain't all on them. That's on the artist that's putting the music out too. Like, at some point, we got to clean that mess up. Like, it ain't cool to be talking about killing each other all the damn time, or degrading the women and stuff like that. Like, that shit ain't cool no more. Them days is over. Like, I hope we come together and stand up against that mess, like they did in Montgomery at the boat, because it's high time to put an end to that bullshit, because it ain't doing nothing but killing some of our communities, because they're not putting resources in our communities in to where our young kids can get away from it. And all they do have access to music, and they do have access to certain things. Even if they don't have a lot of things, they got access to certain things, and a lot of that stuff is negative, especially if you don't have the support system in your life explaining you to that, hey, look, bro, I know that's what you're hearing on that song, but that ain't the life you want to live. Like, I know it look like it's tough out here, but you get your education, you find something you're passionate about doing as far as working and making money, and you go do it. You put your heart into it and you go do it. It ain't gonna always be easy, but
Mhm.
you keep yourself out of trouble. You ain't gotta be living looking over your shoulders. You ain't gotta be worried about nobody hunting you down. I mean, but it's not a lot of our youth getting that message, especially in some of these downtrodden areas in some of these communities, and it's just so unfortunate.
It really just bothered me because I'm like, for one, I'm like, yes, I am big. Like, I'm like, of course, language can be dangerous, words can be harmful. People are heavily influenced by things they read on the internet. Yes, I understand. I see the commercials that say stop you hate. I support it. I'm all for it. But it's just like,
And I'm not gonna say I don't support it, but I mean, why is that more important than any others? just
I don't
because
think
you
it's more
have
important. I just think there
no,
is
it's
a
not.
rise in violence against Jewish people, which is why like when like CJ was confused by the commercials, he didn't understand. Which leads me to another point, really quick. Did you know? I looked this up. Over 50% of Gen Z and millennials did not know that the Holocaust killed a lot of Jewish people. Like
Um,
they were not aware that they exterminated 2/3 of European Jewish people.
that doesn't surprise me because I mean we watching them try to rewrite history that the atrocity that took place against black people in this country. We're watching it before our very eyes. And they try to do the same thing to clean up that mess that
Mm-hmm.
happened. Like that was a fucked up deal, and I
Mm-hmm.
hate when people try to compare the two, but those are two of the most horrific things that we know of that has taken place in the world as we know it over time. I'm sure there's been others, but I'm fairly young. I'm relatively young, and I do know about the Holocaust, and I know about the transatlantic slave movement. Like those are two things that stand out, and we probably the Jewish people, they gonna stand together strong on keeping that alive to make sure it don't happen again, and I applaud them for that.
Hell yeah.
And I feel like we should do the same thing when it comes to us in slavery. Like anybody who was enslaved, but nobody, I don't think anybody was enslaved like we were. I know there were white slaves, poor white people who was in the indentured servitude uh, lane for quite some time, but nothing compares as far as this country goes to the havoc that was wreaked on our African ancestors who were brought over on those ships, and nothing compares to the Holocaust that took place against the Jewish people over there in Europe. That was it's just a testament of what humans can do to humans, and that's probably
Mm-hmm.
why them aliens has had their eyes on this country, on this world for so long, and their presence is being made more apparent. Seems like day after day. I got a my partner Rob, not my partner, but the guy I went to high school, Robert Fairless. He has been tracking this thing for quite some time, and he and I've been having some discussions about this alien stuff, and he told me it's a dark rabbit hole, bro, but it's something to be paid some attention. And that's not to get off subject, but
No, no, no. Yeah, no.
the
I
humans
yeah. Yeah, us humans. That's
humans can be very cruel to other humans,
can be
but
very
that
cruel
don't
to
mean
other humans. But that don't
that don't give people the right to take something that's not
and twist it to
um
fit the vendetta.
yeah
Like
to
like yes, there
yeah
is the rise in the the anti-Semitic language, but it's like don't it's enough of that actual anti-Semitic messaging out there to go and say this is anti-Semitic. Like let's talk about this. Let's talk about why this is an issue. Don't go out and create a problem where there is no problem. And
right.
that's just what
And Jamie
that
Foxx was not a problem.
no, he was not a problem, and I don't think he should have apologized. I
I
don't
don't
think
either.
I think that a lot of people said they felt like it was sincere, which I did feel like it was sincere because I feel like Jamie Foxx, when he was told that this is hurtful towards our community, he's like, oh shit, I didn't mean it like that. Like I, if that's hurtful to y'all, I'm so sorry. But I'm like, not even just this topic, but just people being outraged in general. It's like, is it how is it really hurtful to you right now, or are you just saying it because you think that that's what you're supposed to be saying right now? Like, you're not supposed to
It's
agree
the
with
thing to
this.
do.
It's the thing to do. Like, oh, I don't like how you said that. It didn't really upset me, but I'm gonna say it did because I'm gonna make you feel bad, and now I have this power over
I
you of like, ha, you made me feel like shit. Remember that one time you made me feel like shit? Aha. So, and I'm gonna sum it up with I saw a tweet that said, I'm realizing white people don't necessarily understand how black people use they because of how they use they. And I said, that sums that up.
Oh, that's deep.
You want me to say it again?
Say it again.
I'm realizing white people don't necessarily understand how black people use they because of how they use they. If you know, you know. If you don't,
let this marinate in your spirit.
Stay over there. But yeah, enough about that. One more thing I just wanted to get your commentary on in the news that I saw today. I don't know if it was today actually. But one of the former Minneapolis police officers who held back the crowd during the killing of George Floyd, he was sentenced to nearly 5 years in prison today. So I was a little delighted to hear that, just because
that's some
that
more
whole
wrongdoing.
Situation, that whole situation.
People was trying to
help
rid
and
of some
support,
wrongdoing,
and people was
trying to help and was holding them back, threatening them with guns and tasers and shit. And you sitting there watching somebody just kill somebody for nothing. I still ain't watched that video.
I watched that video and cried my eyes out. I don't know. Yeah, it's like watching a car wreck. Like, I mean, I try not to, like, if I know I'm gonna watch stuff now, I do not. But like back then I used to be like, no, because I need to, I need to watch this. Like, I need to, because he went through it, so I need to watch it. And I need to spread the word. That shit is damaging. But damaging. Yeah, this was a very all over the place episode. Yeah, you got any final words before I deliver what I have for you today?
It ain't time for me to say my final words yet.
What?
I say it's not time for me to say my final word.
What's your final word?
You know my final word.
Oh, I said,
do you have my sign off?
I said, oh, okay. I was asking, do you have anything else to say before I
No, I do not.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Okay. All right. Now, I think you've heard this one before, and it's not really a joke, but it made me laugh, so I was sharing. A bear and a bunny were taking a shit in the woods. The bear asked, "Hey, doesn't it annoy you too when shit gets stuck to your fur?" And the bunny said, "Nah, not really." So the bear wiped his ass with the bunny.
Hey, y'all be good. If you can't be good at it.
Have you heard that one before, haven't you?
Yes.